Growing up in the church isn't, I would say, always the easiest thing. You know, you're learning one thing at school and one thing at home. And my parents definitely had, they made sure we did our devotions and read our Bible, my sister and I, every single day. I think for me at the time, I knew all that stuff. I could quote Bible verses and I could do everything I knew I was supposed to do. But there was just something, I think at some point in my life where I didn't quite have my own faith yet. Hi, my name is Chris, and I'm 36 years old. I've been coming here to Lowell Assembly of God for about 3 years now. So my story is kind of similar to maybe a lot of other stories you may have heard, where I was raised in the church. I was brought up in a Christian home. When I was in school, I quickly found out that being a Christian wasn't the cool thing to be. Unfortunately, that had an effect on me, and I decided that I'd rather, try to fit in at school. I ended up, being one way at home, one way at church, one way at school to kind of keep the peace in all the different places that I was going. That was just a bad time for me. I was wavering in who I was, and I wasn't sure of who I was. And that to me is something that I'm not proud of. So this kind of pattern of thinking went on for a long time. And fast forward into my first semester in college, I was probably about 19 or 20 years old. At the time, I had an opportunity to go on a missions trip with a church I was attending down to Canton, Mississippi, just a short-term missions trip. We go into a community called the Sawmill Quarter, which is a community down there that has a bad reputation. It's known for being very dangerous. And when we first got to this community, I was scared to get out of the car. This community has a bad reputation in the town for being a place where people that look like me shouldn't go. And that's just the way it is down there. It's a very racially divided part of our country still. But it changed me, and so I was so scared to be a part of this trip, but God had other plans. At the time, I didn't really know what was happening, but I came home a different person, and I just decided that I'm gonna follow Jesus now. So for the next 15 consecutive summers in a row, I went back to Canton. Every single year I went back, and I have had the opportunity and the honor, really, the privilege to watch some of these kids who I've seen since they were 7, 8 years old grow up into young adults, young men and women. If it were not for the leaders of these trips and the relationships that I built over the years with both the team and the community that we work in, I would not be the person that I am today. I'm in a place where now, if I go back with my own daughter or my own wife someday, I would have absolutely zero fear about letting them walk around, make friends, play. I mean, I just know that that's my second home now. I just feel so comfortable there. And that is because of the mercy and the grace of God, that I could go into a place that would otherwise be hostile toward me and find love and find acceptance and find peace and be a vessel for those things as well. Moving forward, I think there's just always hope for something else to come. And when it comes to right now, specifically, being at Lowell AG, being up in the media booth, kind of behind the scenes, I'm very comfortable doing those things and I enjoy that. But I also have a passion for leadership and encouragement and going out into the field and really just showing love to people. And that's what I learned from those trips. I learned how to just be present and be in the trenches with people that I just otherwise wouldn't have been in the trenches with. And I hope that there'll be another opportunity someday to perhaps do that again. And because I am passionate about it, and I am just so excited to look for ways to do that both locally and abroad.